Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing so well. So this video is part 2 of my keto journey where I'll be answering all of you guys' questions. So if you haven't watched the first video, then I would love it if you do before you watch this one. But if you haven't watched it, just as a brief rundown, I was pregnant, had my daughter, obviously gained a lot of weight. I gained just over 20 kilos and I started keto in mid-June of this year, so we're in 2020, and it's currently the end of September, and in total I have lost about 23.5 kilos. So quite a big loss in such a short amount of time, but I honestly have never been happier and I have never felt better. So yeah, you guys have a lot of questions and I'm going to be answering them right now. So yeah, if you'd like to hear all the answers to your questions, then please stick around and enjoy this video. Also, before I start this video, I do want to preface that I'm obviously not a nutritionist, I'm not a diet technician. If you're unsure about it, if you have health problems, please ask your doctor first. This obviously isn't my profession, but this is just my journey and what I've done. And yeah, I'm just telling you guys my own story. So I'm just putting a disclaimer out there that I am not a professional when it comes to diets and stuff. So the number one question is, what did I do and how did I start keto? So basically, to get started, I did a egg fast. Now, you don't have to do an egg fast, but it gets you into ketosis faster. So basically, if you want to search the rules, just type in keto egg fast on Pinterest. That's what I did. And there's like a few pictures and pages that tell you the rules. So in a nutshell, basically you eat nothing but eggs and fats for a minimum of 3 days, maximum five. The first time I did it for 4 days. So it's a minimum of 6 eggs a day, a maximum of 10. You have to have 1 tablespoon of fat per egg. So that could be like oil, butter, ghee, full fat mayo, any fat really. So 1 tablespoon per egg, and you can have a little bit of cheese. You have to drink a lot of water. You can have coffee, you can have tea, but that's it. That's all you have for a minimum of 3 days, maximum 5. And I generally find that after 3 days, I'm into ketosis. So that's how I start. And to start with my meals and stuff, the way I did that was I just winged it. At the beginning, I was not on a meal plan, so I really want to preface that. I had no one helping me with my meals. All I would do was I would just wing it. I would search keto recipes on Pinterest, whether it be breakfast, lunch, dinner. I would just search like keto breakfast ideas, and then just go through Pinterest and pick ones out that looked appealing to me, and that's what I would do. That's how I started with my meals. And then I would put them into my app. Now the app that I used to track my macros was Carb Manager. I'll put it on the screen. So it's called Carb Manager, and the app itself, like you put in all your details and it worked out my macros for me. So I would just put in like all the ingredients of whatever I'm having, and then that's how I tracked it. So I did track my meals. That was another question. Did you track your meals? And I did for the first month and a half, I would say, and then I got very close to my goal, so I kind of like eased out of that habit for a little bit. But yeah, that's literally all I did. Nothing was planned, no meal plans, nothing. I just relied solely on Pinterest and my Google research to help me get started. Another question was, is there a specific place on the internet that you search for information? Literally just Google. I like Googled all about keto before I started, and solely Pinterest just for my meal ideas. And like recipes and like lists of what I can and can't have. Like Pinterest and Google were the main things. Another big question I got was, how do you know if you're in ketosis? They're not always accurate, but this is what I use. I use these keto strips. They're literally pea strips. So I pee in a cup, dip the little thing in it, and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's just like a little strip with a square on it. Dip that into the pea and it changes color. So I'm currently at about this color right here. Yeah, so it's pretty cool how these work. They're not always accurate. Like some days I'll be lighter, some days I'll be darker, But as long as I'm in the coloreds, I know that I'm in ketosis. So yeah, that's how I track if I'm in ketosis or not. If you're doing the egg fast, don't even bother testing until you're like after day 3, because it won't change until then. But yeah, that is how I know if I'm in ketosis. A lot of questions are about, are meals easy to make? How do you handle cooking for your family if you're keto? And all that type of stuff. So I found keto meals so easy to make. Like it's not that hard. Oh, it's not much harder than making normal meals. It's just, you know, if I'm making, say, creamy mushroom chicken, I can have that. But if my husband wants it with rice, like I'll make him the rice, but I just won't eat the rice, but I can have the rest, you know, because you can have cream, you can have the veggies, you can have the chicken, like all that stuff is great on keto. Keto is, I found it the easiest diet to follow because you can literally have pretty much anything. Like I live for cheese. Cheese is my favorite thing in the world, and hello, keto, like cheese is one of the main sources of fats for me. So that's why it works for me. So for example, if I make like a creamy mushroom avocado chicken, like a full chicken breast, I'll make that for myself, but then on the side I'll make like veggies and like potatoes and pumpkin, and like rice on the side for the rest of my family. So it works. Like it's not that hard. You just make certain variations, and sometimes they eat exactly what I eat, because keto isn't like canceling out a lot of, it's very hard for me to articulate it with my words, but it's like you don't, it's not, how do I, it's like normal food, just minus the carbs. Just with the types of foods that I cook, it's just normal. Like it's normal food, just minus the carbs. So for example, you know, we make chicken Mexicana a lot. Like we can all eat that. You know, if my husband wants it with rice, he'll just add rice with what he's eating. But you know, we can all just eat it with the vegetables and the chicken and like the tomato sauce. With pastas, I just get a low carb pasta. I love the edamame one from, I think it's Coles. I'm not sure if it's Coles or Woolies, but I'm pretty sure it's Coles. So there's like different variations of things that you can do. So I find cooking quite easy. I just minus the carbs for myself. So yeah, it's super easy. So there's also a lot of questions about my energy levels. Like, do I have low energy? Am I always tired? And not at all. I have never felt so energetic, so like light. Like I have so much energy. I feel so light. Like I just feel great. So yeah, energy isn't really an issue. I feel like when I eat carbs, I feel more tired and more fatigued. So it's been really good in that sense. What is a good keto breakfast? So a solid breakfast for me is either eggs, some halloumi cheese, and some avocado. That is the perfect breakfast. Or if I just want something a little easier and I can't be bothered making the eggs, I'll just have a peanut butter protein shake. So I'll have 300 mils of water, a scoop of protein, and a tablespoon or 2 of peanut butter. So yeah, a lot of questions still go back to how did I know what to eat? I'd wake up in the morning and actually not know how to eat. I literally relied on Pinterest for all of my inspo and I winged it. So many questions again about meal plans. I was not on a meal plan, was not on anything. I just relied solely on Pinterest, and I would just search like every day. Whenever I was about to eat, I would just search like, you know, keto lunch, keto breakfast. That's literally it. However, I did about a month ago, or just before my birthday, I bought the JRF meal plan. And I was on that for a few weeks, but I didn't like it. Like it just wasn't for me. It was a lot of food. Like it's great. Like it's a lot of food, but it's not food that I like. Like I don't like chicken thigh. I don't like avocado smoothies. Like that's not for me, and there is a lot of that in the JRF meal plan. I'm happy I tried it out, otherwise I would have continued to wander. But yeah, tried it for a few weeks, wasn't for me, and I don't really use it anymore. So that answers that. However, I'm good to just wing my meals, but if you love having a set plan, set meal prep and all that stuff, then it might be good for you. Like you might actually enjoy that more than just winging it. Yeah, lots and lots of questions about the keto flu. the keto flu is something that you hear a lot about before you jump on keto. It's basically just the flu after you get on keto, and honestly, I didn't experience it. I have jumped out of ketosis so many times. Like on my birthday, I went ham on all the takeaway food, all the junk food. I felt very, very, very sick and had bad acid reflux for like a week after that, but no keto flu. Doing the egg fast process again and getting into ketosis. I've done it 3 times now. And yeah, I haven't suffered keto flu once. Touch wood. But yeah, even a bunch of my friends have just jumped on keto. They've just finished their egg fasts and they've been so fine. So not everyone goes through keto flu, so don't let that put you off. And if you do get it, it does pass. The thought of keto flu is really, really, really intimidating, and a lot of people make it sound really bad. I've never gone through it, so I can't actually comment on it, but don't let that scare you out of trying keto, because for all you know, you might not even get it. So it's always worth a shot. So what foods do I eat to get my fat in? I put oils in everything. So in my coffee, I put 2 teaspoons of MCT oil. If I'm making eggs, I'll put some oil. I eat a lot of cheese. I love cheese. Cheese is my life, which is probably why this diet has been so easy for me. I love to snack on cream cheese with vegetables. Even peanut butter on capsicum is amazing. That's my favorite. Even putting, I know it sounds really bad, and don't knock it till you try it, because when I thought about this I was like but butter for keto hot chocolate, sugar-free cocoa powder and butter and water, you wouldn't know the difference. It tastes like normal hot chocolate. So that's great. I haven't done that in a while though. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do to get my fats in. Trying to think of anything else that I might have missed out. Yeah, it's all basically in cheeses and oils, and like how I cook my food, I put like a good amount of oil, a good amount of, I don't really like to cook with butter. I don't like that. A lot of people put like butter or cream in their coffee. That's not for me. That, just thinking about that makes me dry reach. Like, that's disgusting, and I'm sorry if you like it, but that is just not for me. So yeah, I just put like all the oils and stuff in my cooking and MCT oil in my coffee, and no, it doesn't make it taste gross. It's so fine. Like, it's a bit oily, but it doesn't taste any different to normal coffee. Also, what do I snack on? So I was pretty strict at the start. I would really only snack on cheese or like low carb veggies like capsicum, cucumber. I do have berries now, so I'll have like a handful of blueberries or like a couple strawberries. But if I'm, you know, nearing that time of the month and I want something really sweet and chocolatey, these are the best. And they do not taste any different to normal chocolate. So these are the Atkins low carb caramel nut chew bars. This is what they look like. You can get them from Woolies or Coles. They are the best thing in the world. They're only 2.3 grams of carbs. So amazing. Like, sometimes I'll even have 2 or 3 of them in a day. Like, I don't even feel guilty when I eat them. They taste like a Snickers, exactly like Snickers. Like, my husband didn't even know the difference, and he's very picky when it comes to his sweets. Like, he's like, don't give me that healthy shit. But then he had it, and now he's addicted, and he eats all of them. So they also have a bunch of other ones. Like, they have a cherry ripe one. Well, it's not actually called cherry ripe, but it tastes like cherry ripe. And they have a coconut one which tastes like Bounty, which is really awesome. So I definitely recommend those. But I recently got onto these because I saw Jazz Hand. She has them, and just the way she bakes them, she makes them look amazing. So I was like, I have to get some. So they're the Smart Protein bars. I'm sure you've heard all about these from anyone who's on keto, but they're basically protein bars. They are 2.1 grams of total carbs. That makes sense. Okay, I just jerried. So when I scanned this into Carb Manager, it was like, it's 18 grams of carbs, and I was like, no, it's not. I just jerried. So I think it was probably put into Carb Manager by someone in the US, because you guys add your dietary fiber into the carbs, whereas in Australia we minus it. So in total it would be like 20 grams, but then you've got to minus 18 grams of dietary fiber. Okay, now I get it. Sorry, moment. But basically, cut this into 3, chuck it in the oven for 13 minutes, and you will have chocolate chip cookies, and they taste amazing. Also, something that I haven't put next to me is Before You Speak coffee. I've actually only recently started having that, but I love them. Doesn't taste like coffee. It's sweeter, but it's really, really nice. So I would definitely recommend those as well. And sometimes if I just feel like something chocolatey, or I'm getting a little bit hungry in the evening, which I usually don't eat after 6 p.m, but sometimes you just have those moments, I'll have a protein shake. And this is the protein that I take. It's called Isopept Zero. This is the flavor Chocolate Decadence. And honestly, if you guys have ever had the chocolate baby custard, like, you know, the pouches, I think it's Rafferty's Garden, it's just like chocolate custard. This tastes just like that, like the baby custard. It's amazing, and it's only 2 grams of carbs per serving, so it is amazing. I consume more protein now than I did before, just because I'm trying to build more muscle mass and tone up. So yeah, I hope those are some good suggestions that you find useful. And a lot of people are asking what you can and cannot eat on keto. So basically, you've got to do your research to work out what foods are high in carb and high in fat. So your aim is to have a high fat diet and as low carb as possible. So basically cancels out most pretty much all fruits, because they're full of sugar. The only fruits you can have are berries in moderation, so like strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, and just high starch vegetables. Like, you can't have potatoes, you can't have pumpkin, you can't have, I'm trying to think of other high carb veggies, but I haven't had them in so long that I can't remember. But you've kind of just got to stick to your greens, like, you know, your broccoli, your beans, your spinach, lots of spinach, cucumbers, lettuce, artichokes, sorry, I meant asparagus. Yeah, just like the low carb, low starch, lots of greens. You can have like your capsicum, you can have avocado, you can have, there's a lot that you can have, but you pretty much just can't have any main fruits. And you can have like lots of dairy, so you can have cream, you can have cheese, you can have pastas, but like make the pasta out of zucchini. Like the options are endless. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, there is a lot that you can have. You've just got to, once this like clicked into my mind, like I realized once this like clicked into my mind, it just became so easy. You just minus the carbs out of everything. So if you're gonna have, like I mentioned before, this is just the easiest example, like, you know, creamy mushroom chicken with rice. You know, just cancel out the rice and have the creamy mushroom chicken and just add some extra veggies for yourself. So it is pretty easy like that. Did you count calories with keto? Yes, I did at the start. As I mentioned, I used the app Carb Manager. I put in all my details and it worked out my macros for me, which I don't remember what they were at the time, but I do remember that my carbs were set at the max, which was 30 grams. Now they're a little bit less, just so, I don't know, I'm just trying to kind of stick to a little bit less for now. But yeah. Do you have to exercise, or can you lose weight just by being on the diet? I actually, when I first started keto, wasn't exercising because we were in lockdown, and I still lost weight. I lost, I think, 3 kilos in the first week. So the weight loss at the start is very fast, and that's another thing. There was a question that was similar actually, is how long did it take for you to start seeing continuous weight loss? So I saw weight loss instantly. Within the first week I'd lost 3 kilos, and then from then on I lost around 2 kilos a week. At the start I wasn't working out because, as I said, we were in lockdown. But once I did start working out, I was also gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time. So the weight loss at the start was very steady. Now it's not so fast, like I'm not really losing that much weight now, but I'm not fussed about it because I've hit my goal. Anything after this is an achievement. So I'm pretty content with that. But there was also a question that said, did my weight loss ever plateau? And yes, it did. There was a period, it happened a few times, where my weight just would not budge. So what I would do is I first started out with a 24-hour fast. So you fast for 24 hours, no food at all, but you can have tea, coffee, and lots of water. But in my coffee, I would always put MCT oil. And yeah, so I did that, and usually after a fast my weight loss would just start back up again. But then I've actually started doing 30-hour fasts. I haven't done one in a while just because I'm not really, again, fussed about weight loss at the moment. But yeah, doing a 30-hour fast or 36-hour fast, around that time period. I would just do that, having only water, tea, coffee with MCT oil, and that rebooted my weight loss straight away. Is keto going to be a lifestyle choice for you, or just a short-term method to lose weight? At first I thought it would just be a short-term thing just to lose weight, but I actually really love the lifestyle. I don't need carbs in my life, but it is pretty hard to stay in ketosis all the time, because sometimes I just want a soy latte here and there, or I would love a pizza here and there. So once we are out of lockdown in Melbourne, because that's when I know it's going to be really hard to maintain, I'm just going to go with a low carb lifestyle, not sticking to keto. Like, I'm not gonna make sure that I'm in ketosis all the time, but I am going to be sticking to a low carb lifestyle from here on out, just because I just feel like it works for me so much better. So I do think that this is going to be a permanent thing for me for sure. Someone also asked about sweeteners and bars for keto. So the bars that I would recommend are these two. My favorite, they're all like they're the only types of ones that I eat. And sweeteners, there is one that I use, and that is by Nativa. It's like a cylinder and it's green, but that's the only one that I use, and I love it. It's very close to sugar, so sometimes when I'm feeling a bit like I feel like something sweet, because I do have quite a sweet tooth, I'll put like a teaspoon of that in my coffee, and that does it for me. In your opinion, how necessary is it that we track macros? You don't have to. I don't, like, I've started tracking now just so I can I guess control what I'm consuming now, but I did stop tracking for a while, even when I was still working towards my goal, and I still lost weight. So I would call myself now more of like a lazy keto. I don't track that often, but some days I do. Like the last couple of days I have been, today not really. And yeah, like, it's just really personal preference. If you have a goal that you really want to meet, like a set goal, a set time you want to reach that goal, then I would recommend tracking. So I think a big factor in my weight loss as well was intermittent fasting. I did intermittent fast between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. I still kind of do now, just not as strict with it. I do have a protein shake now after my workout, which is like 7:30 in the morning, which I guess would break the fast. But for the first 2-3 months that I was trying to reach my goal, I was fasting between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. Won't eat anything before 12 p.m. Or anything after 6 p.m. So I found that really helpful, and I think that sped up my weight loss a bit quicker as well. A lot of the questions were repeat, so those were pretty much the main questions that were asked over and over again. If you guys do have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I will answer them. And if you guys want to see a part 2 and want me to answer more questions, then also let me know, because I'd be so happy to do that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully that you found it insightful and helpful to start your own keto journey. If you did enjoy, please give me a massive thumbs up. Be sure to put your push notifications on so you know when I do upload my next video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Love you guys so much. Thank you for always supporting me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.